I absolutely love this show. We only got to see one episode, as you might have known. I cannot wait to see more. So we're kind of just getting to know your characters at this stage. And I am curious how you each connected to your roles.
I mean, for me, I grew up reading Goosebumps, and it was just such a gift for me to like, because I was such a library kid. I was, hunkered in the dark corners of the library reading these creepy books, and they made such an impression. And then I come here and I'm like working as this character, and I'm an action figure, and she's queer, and that meant a lot to me. And just being able to like work through all of these interesting young girl emotions, but also like kick butt, that felt really great. So I love her.
Yeah,
Oh,
for me, it just being I also was a big fan of Goosebumps because it really is the one thing that my kids could really get into, and it made them sort of readers. It also made them fans of the horror genre. And I get to play this, New York cop, being from New York, getting to shoot in New York, and getting to play this like Brooklyn tough girl, and really sort of exploring the complicated relationship with my daughter. For me, it just, and I working with David Schwimmer, it just was the best. Yeah.
I love that so much. And that was my next question. So, from what I've seen, I don't know yet that you guys are mother and daughter. So, I had to ask. They do play mother and daughter, right? So what is that dynamic like? Bonding? How do you really get into that relationship?
I mean, I think there's just so much that we had to learn from each other, and there was so much that Anna just was so giving. And I would ask her questions when we walked on set, and she just gave me a lot of amazing advice. But also watching you act, like there's so much presence there. And I said it in another interview, but it feels like working with Wonder Woman. So for me, it was like really easy to find that because I'm just in such awe of her, and I'm also such a clown. So we could bring that
Yeah,
up to
we
each other.
could definitely bug out together. I think there's also, I mean, we're both Latin women. We're both from New York. There's a sort of an easy secondhand that we don't need all of the sort of, regular things that you might have to sort of work up to in a relationship. We sort of instinctively understood about each other. So we were able, that was my experience with
Yeah,
you, that we were able to just sort of really dive into it and not be afraid of the conflict. And she's such an open actor, and you just don't see that in people your age a lot. So it was a treat from top to bottom. We really got to like chomp up the scenes.
Oh, I can't wait to see these scenes. I can't wait.
Episode 3.
Episode.
I was like, I know we're getting there. I know that's probably why they're paired together. They have to be playing mother and daughter.
Yes.
And Anna, for you, playing a cop, I feel like this is a little different than the roles we've seen you in before. What is it like? Do you have to learn how to be a cop, to play a cop? Like, how do you get into that
Well, she was written so well that for me it was just really a lot of fun to dive in. But she's a New York woman. She's stayed in the same neighborhood her whole life. She has sins from her past. I think she was a really rebellious kid like her daughter, so she's become a cop to sort of maybe atone for that. So I really approached it in that way, in the sense of like she's really trying to make up for her past sins and do right by her community. So if I just really took it from that point of view of like being really protective over what she knows, over what she can control. I think she's a bit of a control freak, which I can relate to. So for me, I really took that approach to it. Also, my cousin was a cop back in the day, so I do that.
There you go. It's a little genetic, maybe.
Yes, yes.
And that's also a trip, is that there's kind of a multi-generational thing going on here with Francesca, you playing her daughter, but then also, Anna, you have someone playing a younger version of you. Did you work with her at all? Or was it kind of like, how did you feel the younger version of you was portrayed?
She's one of my favorite people on the earth. She played my daughter in Love, Victor. Isabel, Isabella Ferrera. She's absolutely so brilliant. I can't even tell you that the fact that I got to work with Francesca and Isabel in the same project is like, oh, my favorite thing. And yeah, I mean, Isabel and we know each other very well. So she got me. She didn't even she didn't even have to like do anything. She just knows me.
Oh, that's so nice. And I'd love to talk a little bit about the horror, about the genre of like being in these like really frightening scenes. What was that like for both of you, Francesca and Anna?
It was difficult in many different ways. I mean, it was fun, obviously, because you're working like with these beautiful sets and the costume design and the stunt performers
Ooh.
out of this world. But also, we were working on storylines that were really difficult and that were really true to life. Cop, ex-con, us too. And I really commend Disney and Goosebumps for putting that on screen because we need to hear those stories more. Yeah, so it gave me a lot of empathy and hopefully it'll teach a lot of people about those stories.
But
So,
she has like a for real fight scene with like
I do.
supernatural. Like she did her own stunts. Like I have to
I
give
got
you props for
bruised.
that. Like
Thank you.
Oh my God.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It was intense. It was really intense. At the end of the night, I was like stunt mat, bathrobe down, you know?
Right. Yeah. Like, how do you debrief from something like that? How do you like, you have to like watch a comfort show or something, right?
And watch Sex in the City.
Yes.
That's it.
I love that so much.
My name is Anna Ortiz, and you're watching Hollywire.
My name is Francesca Noel, and you're watching Hollywire.